What's up guys, Alex Kolominski. I'm a real estate agent. I've been around for about 3.5 to 4 years here in Southern California in Orange County. And I've been through a lot of different experiences, a lot of negatives, a lot of things that I wish someone was there to warn me about when I first got my license. But unfortunately, I had to learn it from my own experiences. And I'm going to lay it all out in no particular order. And I know that you guys are going to benefit from this, so please have a pen and paper handy and let's jump right into it. The first thing I'm going to talk about is have everything in writing. Sure, we all heard about it, I get it. I've been told 1,000 times, Alex, make sure to have everything in writing. And for the most part, I have. I mean, we communicate with emails, we send DocuSigns, we text a lot these days doing deals. The thing that I wish someone told me was, overprotect yourself in writing. Overprotect yourself in writing. Write this down, okay? Let me give you a small little example. When you're working with a buyer and you are preparing a purchase agreement for them, right? You typically go over what the terms are gonna be like, either by text or by phone. So your client knows what to expect on the offer. You send it to them, they sign it on DocuSign, okay? They're aware, it's done, it's ready to go, they're ready to submit the offer, okay? Let me ask you, how often do you actually ask your client to, or encourage your client to ask you questions about the contract? Like, hey, Jim, or whatever, let me know if you have any questions at all about the purchase agreement. No question is a silly question. Please ask anything on your mind. If you would like, before I send this offer to the seller. Personally, my thoughts at the beginning when I got my license was, I mean, I'm sending them the offer, they're signing it, it's their obligation and it's their duty to, review the offer. And I am assuming that, they should ask me anything, but that's part of the problem. Try not to assume anything. Try to overprotect yourself in writing so that if the client comes back and says, Alex, but I didn't know that this was part of the offer, or that this provision was there, or blah, blah, you have something to show, to put in front of a judge or in a mediation or anything like that, and say, look, I've, suggested you ask me any question. So that's just one small piece of advice. There's plenty of other things that I can talk to you about, but have everything in writing. Overprotect yourself. Make sure to, disclose every small thing. If you're representing a buyer, you have a seller that just told you that, hey, there's the leak that we already disclosed on the TDS or the SPQ. That leak took place 30 years ago, right? Typically you'd think 30 years ago, who cares? Plus my client already reviewed those disclosures. They signed off on it, and I told them over the phone too, or whatever. I told them there was a leak there. We just don't know when it happened. And your client's like, all right, that's fine. And I like this house. I'm good. I love the home. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned is a big red flag. So in this case, just a random example I gave you, let your client know on email, hey, FYI, I just got this information from the listing agent that the leak happened 30 years ago. Just wanted you to know. Over-disclose, overwrite everything. The second thing I want to talk to you about is law. Real estate law. A lot of people don't really know what a real estate agent does. They just think we get our license real fast, we start showing houses, we wear a nice suit, and we're good to go. Essentially, you are a real estate attorney with two exceptions. You don't have the degree that they have, that the attorney has, and guess what? You can't protect yourself unless you have money to protect yourself. Right out of the gate, the reason my first 2 points are about liability is because I want to express to you how dangerous it is being a real estate agent. It's dangerous. You think, oh, my E&O insurance is probably going to cover me. I'm challenging you. You probably have no idea what your E&O insurance can cover. Your E&O insurance is it's just a thin blanket. It only protects a certain amount of things, actual errors or omissions. It may not protect you from everything. The thing about real estate, because you're dealing with emotional people that make rational decisions, or they don't do enough research, or agents don't overwrite things or sometimes over disclose, is that things tend to go out of control. And a person, a client, your client that's so loyal and faithful to you will flip on you in a second, in a heartbeat, right? You have to understand that, you know, you're essentially doing real estate law. You're the master of the real estate contract. You're the master of the real estate disclosures, and you so happen to be the master in sales and marketing, all together boxed in one package. So that's really important, because no one told me that at the beginning. At the beginning, you're just trying to figure out how to make a sale. Your mentor's pushing you to do open houses or get leads. That's all great. But while you're at it, remember, be very careful. Understand what you do and how you do it. Law. Number 3, let's talk about something fun. Sales, okay? Your first sale, if you're a new real estate agent, 99.9% is going to come from your sphere of influence, your friend or family or whoever that's closest to you. Keep working on those relationships. It took me a year to have my first deal and help my first client buy a home. And I'm never going to forget that. And I was very grateful. It was a referral from one of my best friends. But when I first started, I was kind of lost. I was forced to try and pick a farm, an area that I want to farm. That's not always easy, especially if you're renting. And then usually when you're renting, you're not so much part of a community. Maybe you are. Maybe you're involved in the community and the guy at the grocery store knows your name. But typically, owning a home is where you become part of the community, and it's a little easier to farm. So maybe try your parents' house where you grew up, where the neighbors know you. That's an area you can farm. Otherwise, if you're like me, where my family is like overseas and I only have my dad here, I had to figure it out. I did a lot of open houses every single weekend, but mainly my tip to myself, my tip to you, focus on your sphere of influence. I call it the list of 50. Make an Excel spreadsheet, a list of 50 people that off the top of your head, you can think about, that you can have a warm dialogue with. If you just pick up the phone and say, you know, hey, what's going on? I miss you, haven't talked to you in a while. What are you up to? Let's get together for some coffee. You do that, you talk to these people, you meet with them. I would have talked with them, asked about them genuinely. You gotta be interested in other people, right? But at the same time, they're gonna ask you, what are you doing? How's life? How's work? And at that point, you're catching my drift. So the last thing I'm going to talk about are the pros and the cons from my perspective of being a real estate agent for almost 4 years. There aren't many pros, but I'm gonna talk about the most significant ones. The first one, I'm not even gonna dive into details because there are no details. Money, right? You have big paychecks here. You know, you can work for 30 days and make 50 grand on a house, 30 grand on a house. Hell, $8,000 is bigger than a monthly salary you'd get at a job. So that's obviously part of why I do work so hard and try to be the best I can for my clients. Now, another pro, and again, this is in no particular order. This right here, I feel like, is the more important pro to me than the money. And this is relationships. It's relationships, because think about it, in our job, we are blessed with the ability to meet so many strangers. How many people at their jobs meet as many people as you and I meet in a day? We build relationships. So if you are a people person, then I feel like it's easy for you to make a connection with other human beings. And that should help you become very successful in business, but also just as a friend. So you become great at being a human being. You become great at relationships. One more pro is time, okay? You have control over your time. you don't exactly have a boss. Your boss is what you create. Your boss can be success. You know, success can be your boss. Even when you're part of a team, sometimes it's still, this is all you. You are the business. It doesn't matter who you work under. So you do have control over your time, but you just have to be very anal about how you use it. We did talk about liability, right? Those are the cons, major cons, because your client can use everything against you and he can come out from nowhere and twist and just point their finger at you. So I'm gonna leave you with one last thing. Overall, in almost 4 years of being a real estate agent, I'll tell you this job really, you know, it broke my character and it rebuilt it. I was a very shy, introverted person. I'm foreign. I wasn't born here, so coming here was a complete culture shock. This job just molded me into a smarter, stronger, and a better person, and hopefully a great agent. I hope this video was helpful. Please leave a comment below if you have any feedback. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.